All right, viewers, we've got some breaking update that's coming in on the broadcast in connection to the One Nation, One Poll. The Cabinet has now approved the One Nation, One Poll panel report. This is a big update that's coming in right now. As far as this sweeping change is concerned, the COVID-led panel, which was formed in September 2023, had submitted its report. There you see there, the report being submitted to the President as well. In fact, March 14, the panel had submitted its recommendations, and now this has been approved by the Cabinet. So, one step closer now to the implementation of One Nation, One Poll agenda. And this was also part of the Centre's 100-day agenda after it took power for the third straight term.
जो क्रूड मिशन जाएगा, आपको ध्यान है कि चंद्रयान 3 बहुत ही एक सफल मिशन था. चंद्रयान 3 was a very big success, and basis that now the next step.
So a big step now towards simultaneous elections across the nation for the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies as well. As I just told you, the Union Cabinet has cleared the proposal for the One Nation, One election. Now this bill, remember viewers, is for holding simultaneous elections in India. In fact, it is likely to be introduced in the upcoming winter session of the Parliament as well. This is of course the source pays information, but what we can say for sure right now is that we are one step closer to One Nation, One election. Now, the report about this was given by a high-level committee which was headed by former President Ram Nath Kovind, and this was also placed before the Union Cabinet that has now cleared this bill. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also, during his Independence Day address last month, had advocated for One Nation, One election. He had argued that frequent elections create impediments to the country's progress, and also there's a lot of expenditure that also comes in with frequent elections in the nation. And therefore, it is in the interest of the nation to have elections across all the Lok Sabha and Assembly segments in one go. And this is exactly where One Nation, One election bill comes into picture. It aims to synchronize the elections in a single schedule. And while there is no confirmation, this bill is likely to be introduced in the upcoming winter session of the Parliament. So as early as the upcoming session of the Parliament, we could see this being implemented as well. Of course, this is conditional given the fact that it has to be cleared by the Parliament as well. But right now, what we understand is that the Union Cabinet has given a nod to this bill. All right, so the Cabinet now has approved the One Nation, One panel, One election panel report as well. All right, we also have Charan Singh Sapra now from the Congress joining us right now. Mr. Charan Singh Sapra, this is now one step closer in fact to this entire One Nation, One election agenda that the BJP had said this being implemented. How do you look at it? Because the Congress has constantly raised questions about this, but now the government seems to be on the way to implementing this.
See, I feel this is a major attempt of the NDA government and the Narendra Modi government to divert the attention of the entire nation from the failures of NDA government. They have not been successful, in tackling the major issues of people of India. And they just want to win the state elections by creating an artificial wave sort of. And even this, what the cabinet approval has been given for One Nation, One election, I feel it is a lot more to come. Let the draft be ready. Let us see what are they trying to put it into. And it needs constitutional amendment also. It's not so easy that if the cabinet approval is given, the law will be executed. There are so many further steps. It will come in for discussion in both the houses of the parliament. Let's see what happens ahead. But majorly, the BJP wants to divert the attention from their failures. They want to create a narrative amidst the elections of the Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana and the following elections of Maharashtra and Jharkhand. They want to show that they want to take the country to a different alignment. But this won't happen. People of India, people of these states which are going to election are very wise. They understand the ploy of Bharatiya Janata Party. They are not going to get entangled into this.
All right, Sapraji, appreciate you joining us on the broadcast, sharing your views right now about what's happening. So clearly they're one step closer to one nation, one election. The Union Cabinet has also approved this particular report as well. And now this is expected to be brought up in the next winter session of the parliament as well. So we also have Saugata Roy from the TMC joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Roy, this is now one step closer to implementing one nation, one election. The BJP has been very adamant about it. The Union Cabinet has now cleared it, and now we are expecting this to be tabled in the next winter session of the parliament as well. What does the TMC think about one nation, one election?
She is opposed to one nation, one election. In a country which has such diversity, one nation, one election will not be feasible. It will create problems for the people. So we'll oppose it in every possible way, both inside the parliament and outside the parliament.
All right, Mr. Roy, also the fact that the BJP says that this is going to reduce the expenditure on the governments as well. This will also help synchronize elections across the nation. So all that this will do is it will make the government's job easier, and it will also make the election process in India much more simpler.
Well, there may be a logic on the cost of elections. The way state assemblies are at present, it will not be possible to bring about uniformity. Some states have 1 month, some states will have 2 years left. So it is not possible to really synchronize.
All right, Mr. Roy, appreciate you joining us on the broadcast, sharing your views there. So clearly the opposition now does in fact think that the BJP is trying to divert attention from this particular topic, but all said and done, this is a big update coming in right now as far as the one nation, one election agenda of the BJP is concerned. In fact, remember viewers, the Union Law Ministry had also planned this entire thing out. They had planned to ensure that this bill is also cleared by the Union Cabinet as part of the 100-day agenda of the Legislative Department, and that has now happened. And this means that we are one step closer now for this being implemented. And to those that are not aware of what exactly this bill is, well, this will mean that all the Lok Sabha and the state assembly elections will be held across the nation in one go. So instead of us looking at elections every couple of months, all the elections across all the states will be held together. And the argument coming in from the government is also that this will make the election process much more simpler, and it will also save a lot of money to the state exchequer as well. But the opposition now calling it a diversionary tactic. However, the government seems very clear about what it wants to do with one nation, one election. In fact, while this has been approved by the Union Cabinet, we're also learning that this bill is likely to be introduced in the upcoming winter session of the parliament. So this will also give the government enough time to plan in advance for the 2029 Lok Sabha elections, when it is expected that the Lok Sabha elections and the assembly elections will be held together. So the government, very clearly, the central government, trying to buy some time to ensure that they have adequate time to prepare for the one nation, one election rollout as well, which is expected to happen by 2029. In fact, my colleague Sahil also spoke to Iltija Mufti from the from of course the Valley as well, from PDP. Let's listen into what she has to say.
अभी कैबिनेट ने वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन का जो प्रस्ताव था, प्रपोजल था, उसको पारित किया है। आप एज अ पीडीपी लीडर क्या समझती हैं देश में वन इलेक्शन वन?
दीज आर ऑल गिमिक्स। वो रिग करना चाहते हैं इलेक्शन, डिलिमिटेशन से जब नहीं होता तो वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन का बोलते हैं। बीजेपी से हजम नहीं हो पा रहा है कि उनके जो जमीन, उनके जो पैर तले जमीन है वो खिसक रही है, तो हर एक चीज में उनको प्री रिगिंग करनी है। अब डिलिमिटेशन भी प्री रिगिंग था, वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन इज ऑल्सो वे टू रिग द इलेक्शन।
So clearly there, the opposition not in favor of